I don't like morning people. Or mornings. Or people. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't dislike mornings. Yeah, no, I know you were thinking something else was coming after that, but I don't dislike mornings. I do enjoy a good sunrise. That's nice. But I'm not here to discuss sunrises. I'm here to address my absence. When I'm away from things for a certain period of time, I begin to see things that I didn't see before. I begin to see things that I've noticed, but just put more of a spotlight on. And this thing in particular, I have named it something else totally different, but some may call it antisocial. But for the sake of my video, we're going to call it being a social reserve. Many people are born as social reserves, and some may take time to realize what they've become based off their life experiences. If you've had a subtle voice in the back of your head that often says, I just want to be alone, I just wish this room wasn't so crowded, you yourself may be a social reserve. And you either clicked on this video because you are one, or you're interested in my complex description of what it means to be a social reserve. I have been away from this camera, my PC, editing, all of that, for quite a long time. I think I actually have Corey Kenshin beat. Who's Corey Kenshin? Nothing? Okay. As I was saying, I have been away, and I think it's been pretty good for me. I created a vision board, and the purpose for doing so was to align myself with my goals and what I want to do with my life. Having done so, I've discovered more about myself, becoming more in tune with my higher self and the universe. With an abundance of distractions amongst us all, we humans are easily strayed from our purpose here on our journey. And I've had to personally limit my time. Or shall I say, I've had to be more cautious of how I'm spending my time, where I'm putting all of my energy. I've had to moderate when to attack the day versus to enjoy the day. Now, if you're anything like me, then being in crowds or even around a certain type of person can be draining. And if you understand what I mean, then I think you're on the road to saying you are a social reserve. We have low social batteries. And that's okay. At least I think it is, because for me, I'd rather spend my time alone finding myself. I've created a quote for myself that kind of solidifies me in who I am. It allows me to stay consistent on managing my time for myself. The quote is fairly simple and it goes like this: creative people need their alone time. Now I ask you, do you think this is true? Because these are the words that I wrote down and put on my vision board to remind myself of who's most important. Everybody should have their alone time. But it seems that most people these days are afraid of their own thoughts or afraid of being alone, and they seek constant stimulation or constant interaction with someone else or the outside world or this or that, doesn't matter, instead of calming their minds and trying to find clarity on their journey. But maybe I'm just speaking from this perspective of a social reserve. Though I'm far from perfect, my goal isn't to be perfect. It is just simply to be the best version of myself. There are things that I've started implementing even more in my life, such as meditation. I meditate on a regular, and while meditating, this phrase, social reserve, popped in my head, and again, after my meditation session, I didn't really know what to think of it, but I knew I didn't want to overthink it, so I took it as what it was, a genuine expression of how I felt my entire life. Along with that, I've also felt misunderstood. But that wasn't until I started reading this book called Easy Journey to Other Planets. It's a spiritual book, and I'm not going to bore you with a spiritual lesson, but allow me to explain. My consciousness would remind me that this isn't my first life, and I've always had an open mind for as long as I can remember. My standing on having an open mind is you don't only widen your perspective as a whole, you free up space for new ways of living. And if you ask me, that's what I'd say life's about. Exploration, experience, all the sorts. I truly believe it's meant to be an adventure. At least I see that now, as an adult. And though everyone has their own definition of what living life means, I think we all can agree that experiencing in general is most important. But I'm getting off topic. The time I spent in solitude provided great benefit to my thought process and my emotional state. Most people underestimate self-care, but the ROI on it is incredible. I started by telling myself to imagine my future and then start implementing things that I envision in my future into my current life, presently, and that I will eventually get there. So each day I would just brick by brick build a mental and emotional fortress that's fortified to ensure that the outside world can't or affects me very little. I don't want to say can't because we're human and we have emotions, but controlling them is most important. And I feel you will have a lot more control once you have built your own emotional, mental fortress. I've also started writing in a journal, and I think that everyone should have one. It's very important. Very important. Writing in a journal, a diary, you can call it what you want. It's all the same. Piece of paper, a wall, not a wall. Get a journal. There's always something to write down, no matter how you feel or how empty you think your mind is. It's always buzzing. Trust me. I've also started working out 5 days a week, and I'm not bragging that I'm working out 5 days a week. Trust me, I don't want to do it. I kind of tricked myself into working out, and here I am. It's a whole nother video I'll explain later. Along with working out, meditation, writing in my journal, I'd go for walks at a nearby mountain trail that is really nice, really nice. Sometimes I go there just to specifically write in my journal, or I just go just to catch a sunset. Maybe both. And doing so, it if I happen to do all 3 or 4, however many you want to count it as, but if I happen to do all these at the same time, that would solidify my day as complete. And I advise everyone to try this, at least the first 2, meditation and journaling. Those 2, you can't go wrong with it, trust me. I've also started working on my art a bit more. I don't know if I've mentioned in previous videos that I do abstract spray paint art. This is a piece here. If you're interested, I'll put my links, socials, and all that down below. I don't post as much, so you gotta hit me up. I mean, I don't really have much on the page, but yeah, I'll put it up somewhere. By me keeping myself busy with all these activities and whatnots, I naturally strayed from other projects and things that I had in mind, such as filming and music, of course. That's what I initially made the channel for, was music, but I started doing less of both. And I think it's good to take a break. I think it's good to fall back from some things that you love to do, to come back and be better. When I was away for however long I've been away, and I didn't want to let my creativity stagnate. I unintentionally designed a schedule that's beneficial to me, my body, my mind, and I love it. But it caused me to put other things down, and again, that's okay. When going into monk mode, as they call it, or self-care mode, was to adjust my outlook on life, and I got way more than I expected. In conclusion, it can be difficult for a person like myself to be consistent, especially with things such as uploading or everything at once. But I never bite off more than I can chew. So adulting, trying to maintain your living standards and create your vision, can be difficult, especially in this day and age. And if you're not, wealthy, then it's really difficult. With every step I take towards personal growth, I bring along healthy habits to assist me in reaching my goals and becoming that better version of myself. I don't have it all figured out yet, but I will say things are indeed working out. I'll end with another quote that I've created for myself to hold myself accountable. Do not create excuses for capable abilities, for reasons only bring self-pity. And with that, my friends, I leave you. If you feel as if you are a fellow social reserve, please comment down below. Like the video. I mean, you don't have to like it, but just let me know what you think, because I'm genuinely curious about what everyone else has to say about this. And it's not like I'm the first person to talk about this, but before I go, if you were peeping the hoodie, this is my aunt's brand that she is in charge of. I will put all of the information in the description below if you're interested in how to get you one of these hoodies. She has way more than this. It's also for a good cause. I love you, Aunt Kim. Thank you for this hoodie. This is a great gift. Keeps me warm. Anyway, I'm out. I am creative. And until next time, blessings.